Hello, and welcome to Shoutout's first vlog. I am ladylikesailormouth. I am a contributor to Shoutout, JMU's source of Feminist Discourse. And today we have Addison Peacock, a student at Illinois Wesleyan University and a guest contributor freelance blogger for Feminspire. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
Like to tell the blog world a little about yourself?
Yeah, I am a freshman musical theater major, and I first started becoming involved in feminist discourse probably about a year or so ago. I kind of realized as I got involved in it that I'd always been a feminist and just didn't know quite what the word was, didn't quite know how to identify myself. And I started forming a lot of very strong opinions and needing a way to express them, and that's how I got into writing. And I'm excited to be here.
Perfect. So something that's been going on a lot in the feminist blogosphere lately has been the issue of selfies, with this word of the year is selfie, apparently. And a Jezebel article came out this week talking about whether or not selfies are empowering, and a lot of, feedback supporting that and kind of going against it has been floating around. So we'll be talking about selfies in particular today. So Addison, what is kind of your opinion on the feminist selfie?
Actually, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a part of a movement on Tumblr called selfie culture.
Interesting.
And it's basically, the rules of selfie culture are you post them whenever you want, you never apologize for selfies, and you never feel the need to explain yourself when you use them. And it's basically the idea of using the selfie as a tool for empowerment. It's basically saying, I feel good about myself. Here's an expression of how good I feel about myself, and I don't care if it makes you irritated, because so many people have such a negative response to it for no reason.
Mm-hmm. That is so interesting. I didn't even realize there was a whole Tumblr movement also. I've seen the big thing lately of the hashtag feminist selfie, which I think was kind of that backlash of the Jezebel article. And one of the things I really liked in the Feminspire article, both articles are listed below, will be kind of the idea that, selfies really help show visibility for women who aren't represented in the media. And, as a plus-size woman, I kind of support selfies because at least there's positive body images of women who also look like me out in this kind of, internet world. And it's very reassuring of, there's other really beautiful women who are empowered by their own self that don't fit this hegemonic feminine ideal that's only accepted in the media culture.
Exactly. And honestly, when I was reading the Jezebel article, this is going to sound so bizarre because it is a feminist news site. It felt very much like there was a lot of internalized misogyny there, because what I've seen with the hatred of the selfie movement and of selfies is this weird idea that one of the most ridiculed groups of all time is the teenage girl. And selfies are so associated with being a teenage girl. So that becomes this default insult from supposedly feminist women to women who are grown and posting selfies, or you're acting like a teenage girl. Yeah. Why is that a bad thing? Is where it becomes something that...
Exactly. It's very much something like if grown women are doing it, it's almost taking away that empowerment that maybe they've had. It almost seems like it's going against that counterculture of teenage girls is the negative female ideal then.
Exactly. And I think that looking at it and being oh, it's just this silly, frivolous thing, I feel like it's coming from a place not of concern for if the movement's empowering or not, but coming from some internalized negativity about the use of social media and about teenage girls as a group.
Exactly. And the one thing I do have concern about, because I'm mostly very much on the side of it being fairly empowerment based, but there is that level of the male gaze that does become involved in the selfie. And I do worry about the younger female groups, these teenage girls who are kind of doing it for the wrong reasons. Not necessarily the wrong reasons, because that's not the best word choice, but kind of to fulfill that male gaze and to have that kind of, need. And it's more or less, that they're just unaware.
Right.
Kind of your opinion on that.
I don't know, I feel as if this phrasing is so half-baked right now, but I feel as if there is a way to do it wrong, and I don't mean it, you know what I'm trying to say, there's a way of approaching it. I feel like if you're doing it for other people versus doing it for yourself, it's the same way people look at anything else that that could be considered anti-feminist that really is just feminine expression, like
general
makeup, like things like that. It becomes the line between, are you doing it because it makes you feel good, or are you doing it because you want validation from an external source?
Exactly. But I mean, there's also the whole general idea that humans crave validation.
Right.
That's why social media is such a large component. Like, we as human beings want validation. We want to be recognized by others. It's just, what is the way of validation? And I totally agree with that, you know, if you're doing it for the sake of others to get that kind of attention, that it's not about the woman themselves. And that's why I think I don't like the Jezebel article, because it generalizes that all selfies are to fulfill that narcissistic tendency that we have as human beings. That is simply characterized as a female characteristic, which is not accurate. And
exactly.
I think it's totally misleading that there's not empowering selfies.
Exactly. And actually, I'm going to stop bringing it back to Tumblr in a minute, because it's an imperfect space, but it has its moments. One thing that I've seen come out of the selfie culture thing on Tumblr is I've seen some body positive spaces get a lot of awesome attention, because basically what'll happen is it's a very brave thing for some women who feel like they don't meet societal expectations of beauty to post pictures of them, post a picture of themselves on their blog and say, this is me, this is what I look like, and I feel good about myself. And then to have people who are also part of that sort of movement of selfies through you being used as empowerment to be able to take that and say, yes, look at this, this is so great. It's just like being able to sort of create a very positive space. Mm-hmm. I feel like it has the potential to allow for that.
Exactly. And I really I think the Feminist Spider article talks about it more too, of like celebrity selfies, because I think it actually acts as a really positive tool for this younger generation of women to see, like, Rihanna's really big on selfies on her Instagram account. And it shows, like, oh, Rihanna doesn't look like the magazine covers in real life.
Yes!
Selfies that are on an iPhone. You can't do much with an iPhone besides an Instagram filter. And I mean, how much is lo-fi really going to do besides, like, airbrushing and photoshopping that happens in our mediated images of these women? Mm-hmm. Like, I almost feel like the selfie brings down the idealistic image we have of women to bring more realistic expectations.
I swear that one of the, a very transformative thing for me, and this sounds ridiculous, was I saw a picture on Instagram of Katy Perry first thing in the morning. She had no makeup on, she was, in bed, and honestly, it didn't even look like her. And that realization that they don't even look like that, it is very helpful, and it is very transformative in terms of your way of thinking.
Yeah, I've had similar moments like that with, Lady Gaga. She's really, every once in a while she puts up these, big stripped-down photos of herself that are, clearly selfies. And it's just wow. These images that we're expected to attain don't exist in the real world. And it's just, I think it's a really good reassuring media tool to have other women see that other women look like them and other women aren't perfect.
Exactly. It's accessible. It makes it more accessible.
Exactly. Well, any other final thoughts on kind of selfie culture in general and what you've learned from being part of the Tumblr movement in particular, or really embracing your inner selfie?
Honestly, I have to be honest. I'm a regular selfie taker. For anybody who follows me on any social media of any kind, you'll know this. And I find it to be something that is incredibly empowering. I'll go through a day and I'll feel nice about myself because I can take that picture and go back and look at it and say, look at me go. It's a really nice way to it's a self-care thing for me. It's a way to sort of tell yourself that you're beautiful, if that makes sense.
And that's exactly, what I've kind of felt I've leaned towards more as I'm reading a lot of this going on in the blogosphere of I am more partial to the author and the Feminist Spider's view of I was usually really embarrassed of my selfies, and I'll have them a lot on my computer or on my phone, but I don't post them because I think it's the embarrassing amount of narcissism, but it is a lot of self-care, and if I want to, feel good about myself, why shouldn't I? And no one should make me feel guilty about feeling good about myself.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you for talking with us today, Addison.
Of course, thank you.
Check out her posts, and then there will be some below if you want to read some of her other work. And this is Ladylike Sailor Mouth with Shout Out, JMU's source of feminist discourse, and we will see you next time. Bye!